To F3C, everyone. I'm one of the group of the reporters that will talk about the learners who are gifted and talented. And after that, under that topic, my subtopic that we will tackle today is about the intellectual giftedness. So we're going to talk about how we can determine if a child is intellectually gifted and how to handle or nourish a child who is intellectually gifted. So first, let us first determine who are the gifted and talented children. Those persons between the ages of 4 and 21 whose abilities, talents, and potential for accomplishment are so exceptional or developmentally advanced that they require special provisions to meet their educational programming needs. Next, we're going to talk about how intellectual giftedness is acquired. What causes intellectual giftedness? An interaction between the child's genetic endowment and a rich and appropriate environment in which the child grows. So, as we all know, our genetic imprints are predetermined when we are still in our mother's womb. And so, it is really possible that if the mother is intellectually gifted as well as the father, the child will be, of course, intellectually gifted too. No? So we will not wonder if ever two persons or two intelligent persons will meet and they can produce an intellectual child because it is a genetic endowment. Being intellectually gifted is a genetic endowment, meaning it can be passed from generation to generation. As we can hear from stories, we can hear like bright na sila nga pamilya. It is because it is genetically given, the intellectual giftedness. And so, one factor also that will affect the intellectual growth of a child, the intellectual giftedness, is the environment that the child grows. So, if ever you are raised in an intellectual family, you are raised with intelligent people around you, there's no doubt that you will be also intellectual gifted too. We do have here 14 signs of giftedness. These signs can be determined in the early stages of a child. No, it can be seen and it might be a sign of intellectual giftedness. First off, we have here perceptive and inquiring minds. Perceptive means the child can see far. The child can see more than what a picture can offer. He can presume, he can perceive what will happen after a certain situation may occur. For example, at as early as 2 years old, when the weather is cloudy, the child will say, maybe it will rain. And so it is a sign that he is intellectually gifted. One of the signs that he is intellectually gifted, because how can a 2-year-old predetermine that it will rain if the weather is cloudy? So it is just one of the signs of intellectually giftedness. Next, here we have unusual insights and intellectual curiosity. Of course, we all know that curiosity is a sign of intelligence. But we also have here unusual insights. In a classroom, for example, if you'll be teachers who in a classroom will ask your students, "What can you say when you hear the word entrepreneurship?" And so students may say like a business or a store, a profitable idea like that, and then one will say it is a hope. No, it is kind of not a common thing that will describe a certain. Next, we have here the superior judgment and reasoning ability. If a child is good at reasoning, may it be good or bad, it is still reasoning, and so it may be a sign of an intellectual giftedness. As we all know, those people who are good at reasoning are number one of those people are the lawyers. And being a lawyer, it requires an insurmountable amount of intelligence or being intellectual. And so, if we see a child that being so good at reasoning, it may be you, Maybe you have intellectual giftedness. Is abstract and critical thinking. If you are someone who can respond automatically, strategically, and to a situation, your plans or your next move is well planned, well strategized, and maybe you are intellectually gifted. It is, of course, a sign of being smart, being intelligent. There's nothing more to discuss on that. If you are really good in planning, strategizing, and your next move, your response to a certain situation, there's no doubt you are intellectually gifted. Next here we have originality. When someone doesn't want imitation, when someone doesn't want to imitate, or even just get some idea over a certain thing, over a certain artwork, and wants to build his own, there's no doubt that he is intellectually gifted. Of course, when you want your your masterpiece to stand out, of course, you have to make sure that there's nothing else that is like your piece, so that it will stand out. And if in a matter when you are just copying the work of others, then there's no doubt that your masterpiece or your output will never stand out. Is ability to see connections between ideas. For example, a child saw a tree. If it's just a normal child, they will say that a tree will eventually be cut off and it will eventually be a firewood. But if it is an intellectually gifted child, then the child will say, if you ask him what will happen to a tree, he will say it will be carved, it will become a furniture, it will become a house. He have a various insight, he have a various visions over a certain thing. That is a sign of an intellectual giftedness. Number 7 is the long concentration span in the area of interest. As a mother of two, I noticed that kids do have a very short attention span. And so, if the things that you are giving them, if they don't like the things that you are giving them, they will never really pay attention to it for so long. Neither if they like the things, they really have a short attention span. And so if a child is focusing on something for so long, maybe he is developing ideas inside his mind. Maybe he is planning or to imitate what he is seeing, because it is a sign of intelligence. Even us adults, no, if we are trying to imitate something, we look at it for meanwhile until we can acquire the skills that are needed in order to obtain what we are trying to obtain. That is a sign of intellectual giftedness. Number 8 is advanced reading ability. You can see from the news that there are 1-year-old children who can already read the alphabet, 2 years old who can already read and construct sentences. Then, of course, that's intellectually gifted children. There is nothing more to say about that. It is a common knowledge that if a child can read at a very young age, then of course he is intelligent. And down now to number 9, extensive vocabulary. No, as we all know what vocabulary is, it is our dictionary within our own mind. No, and so if a child will have a wide vocabulary, of course he is smart, he is intelligent. Just like, for example, instead of using the word happy, he will use cheerful. It is kind of not the usual term we use as ordinary Filipinos who are not English speakers. And then if you ask a child, how are you feeling? Instead of saying happy, he will say, I'm cheerful. Then, of course, what can you say? He is intelligent. Number 10 is the keen powers of observation. Intelligent people are just like detectives. They can look at things at different perspectives, but still never miss a small single detail in every scenario, in everything that they look at. They never miss a thing, they never let a single thing pass them. Now, it is being observant. It is not like we are going to be like Einstein in our way of observing, but it is a sign of intellectual intelligence to be observant. So if you are observant, congratulations, you are intellectually gifted. Number 10 here is the strong sense of ethics and values. Of course, if you're an intelligent people, if a person, if you're an intelligent human being, of course, you should know how to respect a human being like you. You have to respect the nature. You have to respect the things that you use. You have to respect elders. That's a sign of being intellectually gifted. Because no matter how smart you are, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how genius you are, if you do not know how to respect the things and the people around you, your intelligence does not clear out or does not reason out your misbehaviors. 12 here is the sign of intellectual giftedness that is somewhat disagreeable for some. It is the sense of humor because as a Filipino, I observe that those people who love to laugh, who loves to make joke, in a simple thing or loves to find humor over things are labeled as not intelligent or more bad other than that term. No, it is just really hard to impart knowledge or impart the knowledge that those people who have sense of humor are also intelligent because not everyone can make something funny, make something pleasant about a certain thing, especially if that thing is already sad, if that thing is already unpleasant. And so, if you see a person who loves joking around, but not fooling around, just joking around, making humor out of everything, he is intellectually gifted. We are down now to number 13, and it says a rapid mastery of basic skills. Basic skills does not only include learning to count from 1 to 1000, learning ABCs, learning skip counting. It is also the basic skills like being hygienic, looking after yourself, like you know how to cook rice, you know how to wash your dishes, you know how to keep your room tidy. That's a sign of intellectual giftedness. Number 14 now is special ability in one or more areas such as music, art, science, language, or computers or mathematics. Of course, it is really hard to find someone who is almost perfect. Not perfect, of course, we don't have perfect individual, but those individuals who are almost perfect, who knows about English, who knows about science, who knows about math, computers, Filipino, geology, biology, zoology, and all these. No? If a person possesses all of those kinds of intelligence, then there's no doubt he is really intellectually gifted. After discussing those 14 signs of being intellectually gifted, I think I have checked maybe at least 13. Please let me know if you have checked all those 14 signs of intellectually gifted. If you does, congratulations. You are smart. You're really intelligent. Bye.